Hi guys, welcome to Boxing Science. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button, and if you like our content, press the like button too. My name's Andy Wilson, I'm the co-founder and strength and conditioning coach, and I'm here to present to you mini bands for boxing. Now mini bands are a great tool to help fire up the glutes and posterior shoulder. I'm going to show you 6 different exercises that you can put into your warm-up and as a filler exercise in your strength and conditioning workouts. Now these brand new Boxing Science mini bands are available in our Champ Pack deal. The Champ Pack consists of 6 months Train Like Champion membership, where you get access to 3 10-week strength and conditioning programs, as well as our online content with the exercise library and coaching workshops, and a brand new Boxing Science t-shirt. If you're interested in this and you want to know more details, please click the link in the description. And this offer is for a limited time only, so act quick and don't miss out. So mini bands are a great tool for boxing, for warming up, firing up the glutes, posterior shoulder, but also great for corrective exercise techniques. I'm going to show you 6 different exercises we use at Boxing Science, using a range of different tensions, targeting the glutes, hip stability, core stability, and also posterior shoulder strength. The first exercise I'm going to show you is probably the most common one, side walks, or what a lot of people call them, crab walks. Now, you want to get the band around about your knees. A lot of people put them around the ankles, but I'm going to show you the reason why we go around the knees at Boxing Science. So with side walks, what you want to do, you want to dip your hips back, push your knees out, and you want your feet hip width apart. And when we step to the side, you want to push out with your knees, sit back onto your heels, and keep your hips back all the way through. Now, when I was saying about having it round your knees first, it's a reason why is because this is a key mistake that I'll see, is when you step out with a foot, the knee comes in there. Knee coming into valgus, this isn't activating our glutes, and it's not a training pattern that we want to ingrain into our athletes. So what we want to do is to make sure that we're pushing out with our knees all the time. Also, you want to take quite a big stride, but we don't want to pause and then step. What we want to do is step and then hold, step and then hold. So I'll show you side on as well. When I'm pushing back with my hips, step and hold, step and hold. Keeping core nice and tight, keeping your back nice and straight. You should feel the burn going through your glute med. Okay, so moving on to the next exercise. This is a single leg clock face, which is great for targeting the glute and the glute med, working on single leg strength and working out any imbalances, but also good for anybody that's suffering from hip or knee pain as well. So the starting position, you're going to dip your hips back, knee on line with your toe. And the reason why we call it a clock face is because we're going to point this foot out to different points of the clock. Okay, so we might start at 1, but what I find when we start forward is that knee starts to drift forward. So I like to go to 3 first. So I go 3, 5, 6, 7, and you can even go all the way to 9. And what this band is doing is creating that tension where when I step out, that knee's wanting to turn in. The role of the glutes is to push that knee back out and keep that hip and that knee aligned and stable during that movement. I prefer to have the band around your knees, but you can also have it around your feet, around your ankles. The reason why I have it around the knee is because it's creating that kind of cue to push out from there. A little bit similar to the side walks. So it's very important that we keep that knee aligned. We're touching out, sitting back, keeping onto our glutes, keeping onto our heels, and keeping tension in our glutes. Main reason why I use this is to work on any kind of imbalances. And also if an athlete is struggling with kind of ice skaters or any lateral movement, this is a fantastic exercise for them to use. Okay, so this next exercise is the side clams. This is probably the most effective exercise to use to try and strengthen up and activate the glute med. We're going to use an extra heavy band for this, but it depends on how strong your athlete is. Now this is probably one of the most common exercises to do within athletes, but I'm going to show you a few different ways on how to make this a little bit more effective. So I'll show you a silent demonstration to start off with. Okay, so you notice that I start off with my knees slightly apart. The reason why is that I'm getting that tension through my glutes all the way through the movement. When I come here, my glutes are switched off. Here, my glutes are having to switch on. I'm also trying to get as much range of motion as I can, but keeping my hip facing forward all the way through. A lot of people end up trying to get as much range as possible, and they start moving their hips, not getting that optimal glute tension. Also, I'll go to 80% of the movement, because if I go 100, this is turning my hips slightly outwards, and again, I'm starting to super compensate using some hip flexor muscles here. So what I do is go between 80 and 20, keep my core nice and engaged. I can really start feeling that engaging my glutes. Okay, the next exercise that we're going to do is a core exercise, but also is working on our hip stability. We're going to do banded dead bugs, where we're going to have a lighter band just around our feet. Legs at 90 degrees, toes tucked up towards the shin. We're going to press one leg down and then back up, whilst keeping the other leg nice and stable. I'm trying to keep it in that same position. Now what this is good at is when we go even without the bands, what our knees wanting to do is to try and follow. Okay, our core needs to switch on, our hips needs to be nice and stable, switched on too, and then our foot needs to be turned out as well. The band is making that a lot harder. As you can see, I'm shaking now trying to demonstrate it to you. So what we need to do, we need to make sure that this leg stays at 90 degrees as much as possible, toe up towards the shin, and then just kind of externally rotated rather than turning inwards. So there, stomach nice and tense, low hands into the floor, lower back into the floor as well. Core nice and switched on. Creating that tension there. Great exercise for your core. So this next exercise is great for your core, obliques, but also switching on your posterior shoulders. This one's called lateral plank walk. We're going to use a lighter band. We're going to start in the press up position. We're going to step out to the side, using our foot, hand, then follow. Foot, hand, and then follow. You can make it a little bit harder by going with your hand first, foot, and follow. Hand, foot, follow. But I'll start off with the first variation, just because it provides a little bit more stability. Once you start going out with your hands, you might start moving your hips around. Going with your foot first creates that stability first. Just make sure when you're going across, so that your hips stay on line with your shoulders, but also not in this position where our hands are in front of our shoulders. We want to get over it, where our hands more or less on line with our armpits. Foot, hand, then follow. Foot, hand, then follow. You can feel it all in our core, lateral stabilizers, and also posterior shoulder. Next exercise that we're going to do is a curl to press with the mini bands. Okay, this is working on your rotator cuffs, working on the external rotation of the shoulders, and also working to the lower traps as well as we push overhead. This is great for anybody that's struggling with shoulder mobility and stability, and maybe have a little bit of shoulder pain anteriorly. So you're going to get a lighter mini band. You're going to have it round your wrists, and you're going to start off with the dumbbells to the side. Now, what you're going to do is curl up, press out, then come down nice and controlled. It's nice and controlled tempo, keeping the shoulders back, pin back all the way through, keeping them dumbbells out to the side. You can really start feeling the burn right in between your shoulder blades. The main thing to avoid here is when you come up, bringing the dumbbells close together, but also turning in this humeral head. Keep the humeral head sat back, shoulder blades together, curl up, press up, and then keep the dumbbells nice and wide. So thanks very much for watching. If you're not a subscriber to our Boxing Science YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this content, hit the like button. If you're interested in getting some of these mini bands, these are part of the Champ Pack offer, where you get 6-month Train Like a Champion membership and a free Boxing Science t-shirt. All at a massive 50% discount, meaning that you get all this content, the merchandise, just for £80. This is our best ever deal and the best way to start your 2020. Cheers guys, see you on the next video.